This is Business Decoded podcast with Ronnie Spellman. An informal chats with top business moguls as they share their stories of failure and success in a fun and relaxed way. Get entertained, educated, and unlock the secrets to success.
Welcome to Business Decoded with Ronnie Spellman. We are back with Kara Kimbrough, the owner of TK's Comedy Club and Restaurant in Addison, Texas. She's a comedian, a singer, a musician. Kara, when we had you on for the last program, we were talking about your appearance on America's Got Talent and moving out to LA soon after high school. It was fun. It was actually fun to hear from someone that's not only built a business, but then started their career on the comedy side.
Yeah.
Which is a tough industry to be. Like you move out at 18 years old and you're trying to find your way, build connections out in the LA market, which is a big place with so many people moving there to get into the industry. What was the business side of that entertainment industry like? I know it's in business, a lot of people, when they're looking to get investors, they can go through hundreds of people where they present their business plan and they get a lot of no's.
Yeah.
What is it like on the entertainment side?
Yeah, I would say pretty brutal. I don't have, it's not a linear. It's not a plus B equals C. It's not a go to school, get a degree, go get an internship, go get a residency, go apply for this. It's the Wild West. So you can maybe subscribe to a certain methodology of like, I'm going to get out there, pound the pavement like this and not get results. And somebody just get off the bus from Kansas and have great teeth and they're booked on something. So that'll play with your mind a little bit. But what I believe is the best thing with any industry is that you really have to stop waiting for permission. Like, all the success I've had isn't because I followed the rules or I asked permission or I tried to fit into the system. God showed me a long time ago the system isn't going to work for me. I'm not going to fit into it. I tried many times. I tried to hobnob. I tried to, rub elbows and be that person. Those doors didn't open. I've also heard a comedian, Melinda Hill, very funny. She said, go where the love is. And that always stuck with me.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Where's the audience that is loving what you're selling? Where's the thing, the hole in the market? Where's the thing that you want to provide that people need?
Interesting.
Right? Yeah. And it kind of goes across. Like, not everybody may not necessarily be your audience. So instead of trying to fit into where, the world's saying these are the cool kids, maybe that's not where God has you. Maybe he has you in a whole different dumpster fire, but it's going to be profitable.
Right.
I really believe that. I mean, and like with our business, with our comedy club and restaurant and everything, we just had a really big dream that was brewing for like about 10 years. And we were constantly working on business plans and finalizing like, what is it that makes this work or not make this work? And I think when you look at things from a consumer's perspective, when you look at it from a guest experience, you're looking at it now as it's not so self-centered. It's more like, how can I serve them? If is this really lining up? Yeah.
So tell me this. I want to come back to your restaurant momentarily. But getting to the restaurant, and you mentioned 10 years of getting to that process, building to that process. But the comedy is where you landed. And from what I see, that comedy experience that you had, that early career experience in the comedy area, is probably what led to you creating the restaurant and the style that you've created it. You didn't just open a hamburger place, right?
No. Or I wish we did, but there's days where I'm like, couldn't it just be hamburgers? You
leaned into your experience in comedy to create a venue that is really unique. So we'll come back to the comedy club, but from your career in comedy, what does someone, if you look at the entire country, where does someone go to kind of refine their skills in comedy and build a career? Is it LA? Is it Chicago? Is it New York? Like and I know it can vary wildly.
It really does. Yeah. I think you don't have to leave your hometown right away.
Okay.
I think you can find something to just start. Los Angeles is very, 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 it's different now. I mean, like in the last 3-4 years because of COVID, huge exodus. So it's hard to speak to it now, but it was very cutthroat. And so I've heard it said, like, go get great in your hometown and then get invited to the party.
Interesting.
Like, go do the festivals there. Get on the festival market. Get into the clubs. And then maybe like a headliner will see you and then start taking you on the road to feature. And then they'll start bringing you into places in New York or bringing you to places in LA. And now you're kind of coming in at a different level because you have those connections. That's one strategy. Because the markets have changed, though, meaning like LA is not what it was. It's like bizarre. It's so weird. It's a whole different conversation. It's a lot of it's social media, and it's building a following, building your niche, building your viewership and your subscribers, and finding that out. And then this is kind of the backdoor way of doing stand-up is now you've got this big audience built. Now they want to see you live. Right. You may not know stand-up. You may suck. They don't care. They want to buy tickets. They want to come see you. You better merchandise it and sell your merchandise and go do a tour, because now you have this massive following that thinks you're great in this department, like online. Right. Doesn't always translate to stand-up because it is a different muscle. It is, a lot of people think, oh, I'm a TikTok star, I can do stand-up. Some do well, and some it's like, okay, just go back to TikToks, And I mean, that's just the reality,
Sure, sure.
But they have an open door. So, like, don't be discouraged if you're not going to move and pack up the goldfish and go to LA.
Can TikTok really make a difference for someone that's rising?
Oh, yeah, that's the game right now.
It is. Okay.
The game is really like, stop asking permission, build whatever it is you want to build.
Right.
And then they come to you. The money people will come to you.
Okay.
It really will, because you've got a built-in fan base.
Sure.
Like Kevin Hart took a lot of slack on some stuff, but he kind of broke it down. He's like, look, I've been doing this for a long time. Right. And all these fans represent ticket holders.
Right.
I mean, he talks about the business, a lot of it.
Right.
He's like, look, you don't have to like me, but they represent ticket buyers.
Absolutely.
They're going to go buy a ticket and follow me to the thing. And now we can do a movie, and I can bring them over here because we've built up this fan base. So I think if you're online, building up your presence, building up your product or your service, building up your personality, that can translate into stand-up. Now, as a stand-up that's done it the hard way, and a comedy club owner, and I will have to say we don't totally love that approach, but we will welcome it, because if you can sell the tickets, then great, because you get a lot of amateurs.
Right.
But hey, we'll take the amateurs. If you can sell it out, guess what? Zippity doo dah. Come on in. You're the best. You're the funniest thing I've ever seen. Did you just start? I couldn't tell. We'll do that too. So.
It's amazing when you look at the entertainment industry, the fact that Taylor Swift can come to the AT&T Stadium, the Cowboy Stadium, that seats as much as 110,000 people, and fill up the whole stadium for 3 consecutive nights. That's amazing.
Yeah, well,
so you speak of Kevin Hart and having that following, it means something.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's really what it is. And I also heard a filmmaker the other day, because I wrote a script, and it was so inspiring. He was like, don't take a million meetings and sit in meetings and take more meetings, and then it just takes forever, or it never gets made. Right. Just make it.
Just make it.
Just make it. Just step out in faith.
Right.
The resources will come. If it's what God has for you, which I totally believe, He will provide. He will provide a methodology, a way, a resource, and it's going to happen. That's what I believe that.
I had me and some friends in my 20s, we were developing a business. And we wanted to get the business plan right. We wanted to get it perfect. And we met with a guy that built a great business. And he said to us, don't worry about getting the plan perfect. Just go execute exactly what you said. At some point, you've got to go make it happen. Waiting for perfection or waiting for 1,000 meetings with someone just it's not going to deliver. You've got to go do something.
Yeah, it really is true. And I think if you kind of equate it all to entrepreneurship, they say entrepreneurship is a succession of failures with that rare win. Right. It's a rare win.
It is. That's true.
And a lot of people are not ready to be that humbled and get back up and get back up and get back up. I know a lot of friends of mine that are actors in LA that start stand up, and it's just for fun. Yeah. They think they might take it somewhere. They'd love to be the star. Everybody think they're great. Right. And they have a couple great shows, and it's fun. Their friends show up, and I'm like, it's going to get hard. Right. It's going to be lonely. Right. It's going to be like tears in the car by yourself. Absolutely. It happens. Yeah. And you'll decide whether you love it enough if you're meant to do it, because it will get rough. You know, if you're really doing it, you're going to wish you died. Right. So
before we talk about TK's in detail, because I know our listeners, they want to learn about the size and how you built out this facility. Sure. And you took the basement where they stored items and converted it into a speakeasy. And what you've done in that facility is amazing. So we want to get to that, the size of the comedy club versus the restaurant. You've had some incredible guests there. But before that, so to finish on the comedy, your favorite impression that you do, which one is your favorite?
Well, I got to tell you, I do a lot of them. They're all pretty bad, but they're fun bad.
Okay.
And she's back, which is Jessica Simpson.
Ah, yes.
Now, I've always presented Jessica Simpson as being kind of like a very breathy singer. She emerged in the early 2000s, and she emerged in the early 2000s, and she's had that pop star thing, right, and now she's back. She's like,
I love it.
She's got some great songs up. Okay, ready for Jessica Simpson?
Okay, let's go.
Okay, this is visual too, right?
Yes.
Okay, I like to hear. So it's like she's very breathy. Okay, here we go. It is what it is, people. This is Ronnie's fault that my hair is like this because I didn't know we were filming today. I didn't have my roots done. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Jessica Simpson, right here. Just breathing. She's like, with nothing but a t-shirt on. I never felt more beautiful, baby, as I do now. Now that I'm with you. Thank you. It's all in the breath.
So she's back now.
Dude, she's back. She's doing like new music and everything, and it's pretty good.
Has she had a residency yet?
She's doing some stuff in not in Vegas. She's in Nashville. She's kind of. Okay. I mean, listen.
I love it.
She can dabble, do what she wants. She sells shoes. She's a bazillionaire, isn't she? A billionaire?
I don't
technically?
know. I love the comeback though, and you're right. Her shoes are everywhere in the shoe store. I see them all the time.
I think she went through a divorce. I don't know.
Right.
And now it's like the revenge, it's like the kind of country revenge album.
I'm waiting for the next boy band to come out now.
Oh, okay. It's so creepy, but that's cool.
No, Jessica Simpson. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, me? I thought you meant like a legitimate. You're like, I'm waiting to buy a ticket to the show.
No, that wouldn't be the case, but that's so cool.
I don't peg you for a boy band kind of dude.
So do you have any inspiring new comedians that at the top of your list? Someone that you would pay to see that's up and coming?
I don't know if they're up and coming. We book a lot of comics that you haven't heard of, but they are like arguably funnier than a lot of household names. Right. They're just like, they're road warriors. I mean, they're just like, they will turn a room around. We have Greg Romero Wilson, who plays our club a lot. He's super funny. I've opened for him in Vegas. He's amazing. Again, not a household name, but just the kind of people when you watch them, you're like, man, everybody needs to watch this person. They're so funny. Kira Sultanovich, she's in LA, Russian. She is so, like, your side hurts. And as a comic, watching so much stand-up by default, like, you kind of like, I don't know, you see it differently. Right. So when you do watch stand-up and you forget and you get transported and you're laughing like a normal.
That's an amazing experience.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, wow. It doesn't happen a lot. But there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of people online that I love. And a friend of mine, she's killing it right now. She's up and coming, Nicole Birch, super funny.
Nice.
She'll be playing our club in October. She's does a lot of online stuff, but she did the stand-up thing too.
Okay.
So she built up a huge following online, but she also did stand-up. So like, it's very seamless.
Nice.
It's very good storyteller. And TK and I, like, we've had so many up and coming, really funny cats in LA that you just know they're going to make it.
You must take a lot of pride in seeing these comedians come through your facility and then just explode on the entertainment scene and do well.
It's really like, it's kind of like a mix of pride and jealousy and envy. Well, they'll be like, I'm like, you're already doing what? Like I knew you had it in you, but like, come on. No, there are some mega funny guys. Paul Walter Hauser, he's gone on to do a ton of movies. You would know him if you looked him up. Super funny guy. And there's people who are like, wow, you're watching them just, and you're like, take me with you. But
right.
But it's awesome. It really is. It's great. It's inspiring. It's hopeful. You know,
I can say I've enjoyed speaking to both you and your husband, TK, just to hear even his journey. I think it was his dad that knew Quincy Jones, and just an amazing set of life story that I've learned from just our casual conversations.
Oh, yeah. I know, it's pretty cool, huh?
So 10 years in the making for the TK's Restaurant and Comedy Club.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't know what it was going to look like. I think when you do something, you dream it before. And, you know, it's really easy to discount that process because there's the visual process. There's a visionary process of like, what would it look like? And you take mental notes and you jot down notes and you talk to people and you get feedback. And then that becomes more and more of a real thing. But something happens in the spirit before it happens in the physical, usually. Right. Usually you've been watering something and you've been marinating it and we would just have an energy. We'd get excited. Always thinking about like, what would our experience look like and what is it that we want to take from this and take from that? Right. So going back to business models, if you want to jump into that, the typical business model of a comedy club is you go to see a great act and you get in there. There's not a place to eat or drink prior to the show. Typically, they might have a little bar. Right. You go sit down. And it's a 2-drink minimum. You sit down, the waitress is like, hey, how you doing? What 2 drinks do you want? I need to pay for them now. I say, no. So, like, you have to order them right away. If there is food, typically there's not, but if there is food, it's usually like, stale nachos that Bert's making on a food truck outside. Right. And it's just to keep you a little bit satiated. So the business model is the 2-drink minimum and the ticket to the show. Right. They get you out after that. They flip the room. They get the second show in. And that's typically how it is. So if you're a diner, a guest, you need to eat before, you need to eat afterwards. You're going to want to have and usually comedy leaves you on a high, so you want to do something out afterwards. So then they're looking for their next spot. So TK and I were always like, we don't want them to have to go to the next spot. We want TK's to be a one-stop shop. You book your dinner, you can have an elevated steakhouse experience. Yes. Then you go to the comedy show, which is about an hour and a half. Afterwards, we open the speakeasy after the first show, right around 9 o'clock. They go down to the speakeasy. There's live entertainment, live music. Right. It's a total different experience. And then depending on the weather, it's Dallas. The patio's open. It's on the water. It's beautiful.
Well, and that's what I was going to mention. It's just, your location is just absolutely intriguing. So you're right. You've got the patio area, which is a really good sized patio. Yeah. And then a little lake right behind you, which is just beautiful.
It's really beyond what we could ask for.
And then you have the main level with the bar and the restaurant, and then separate in a separate room, but still very much connected, is your comedy club. So how many are seated in the comedy club?
It's kind of modest. It's about 110-ish, depending on, we have VIP sections. So we have cushioned booths on the side, the back, and larger tables in the front. And then we also have the general admission. There's not a bad seat in the house. However, if somebody wants to have a full dining experience during the comedy show, we recommend getting VIP. They get a little more real estate. Right. They're going to get to, throw some elbows and cut into that.
But you can still order throughout the entire 110 menu from the menu.
100%. Full menu's open, but depending on the dining experience you want to have.
And it's great. You hit the little button, and that
little button lights up, and it's like
your
bing,
server
bing, bing.
comes over and orders your food, and it comes out.
It's like raising the flag at Poncho's. It's like push the light. Need another margarita. And we find is a lot of people do like to dine both in and then some prior to the show in the main dining because it's a different experience. Sure. It's definitely more of a date night experience. You feel special. Right. We get you to eat in the steakhouse. You're going to spend more money. Right. You just will. We average well.
Why a restaurant? I know you mentioned that you wanted something attached to the comedy club, but they're expensive. It's a lot of overhead and the build out, and not to get into the whole details, but it's a major investment. You've got to commit your whole life to that investment, and so I commend you for taking that gamble.
It's still a gamble, but it's part of the concept was to have that dinner and show elevated experience, not to just be a comedy club. Although we love comedy clubs, we're very grateful for comedy clubs. It was to bring that full experience. Restaurants are they are life sucking. They are not easy, but it's part of the full picture.
It is,
and we're proud of what we serve. And we have an incredible chef with us he's done an incredible job. The food blows people away.
Your kitchen is huge, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
It's not like it's probably larger than the vast majority of restaurants that are about your size from a seating perspective. Your kitchen is just dynamic.
It's nice. It's real beautiful. Kind of it's like kind of a stainless, not stainless. I'm sorry,
kind of see through with the glass as well.
Glass a little bit. It's a real sexy kitchen, and we have a great chef, and we get really fun. We have a great program on Wednesday nights called Bite Club.
Okay,
it's a ladies' night. It's Bite Club is a culinary experience. Ladies can book their open table reservation, and all they have to do is. First step of Bite Club, the first rule of Bite Club is you tell your friends.
Right.
Second rule, book your reservation. Third rule, you got to buy 2 cocktails or mocktails, and you get a free, complimentary 3-course tasting menu.
Oh,
it's actually quite large.
Nice.
And it's like the menu changes each week.
Right.
So it could be like a seafood forward menu, then it could be a steak forward menu, and like cool stuff. He'll do like a tempura fried brownie sundae.
So you keep mentioning all these great foods and you have no samples.
Oh, no samples. Sorry. Fresh out.
Now, I must say that I hosted an event for a number of business people. So we had 100 or so business people that came in from around the world.
Yeah.
Some flew in from Dubai and Mexico and throughout the U.S. And your team was just amazing. The setup of the buffet was incredible. People had just a delightful time. It was for me hosting the event there, and I've hosted events around the country at a variety of different venues. And I'm not the type that just likes this stale hotel box room. No. I want something with a little atmosphere. Yeah. And then we had a comedy show thereafter. I appreciate you having the event for me because it gave people something different. And they came and they had fun and they laughed and connected with other business leaders. It was just an enjoyable experience.
Thank you. It's something that we've discovered that at TK's we host so many business functions.
Yes.
And we've found ourselves kind of at the intersection of like different businesses. And so now on we're doing an invite only for all these businesses on May 17th for a pre-party to basically network and create, because we found that a lot of businesses want to do interactive experiences that leave huge impressions. Right. Texas does business a little differently.
They do.
They don't like to rush it, and they like the hang. They like all the non-business around the business to help seal the deal with the business. Right. And so that's where we come in. We're like, and
what was cool is I had a VIP component. So we were able to go downstairs to the speakeasy. If you don't know which book is the right book, you have to figure out when you go to TK's.
Yeah.
You pull the special book, this big gigantic door opens, and you have this beautiful staircase down with all of the, I don't know what material, lime or whatever stone you use on your walkway to the speakeasy area, with the full bar downstairs as well. Yeah. But it was secluded. It was fun. It gave people a more intimate space. You have a grand piano in that area. It was such a neat and different experience.
Yeah. That's what we want. We want everybody to come in and it's a win-win. Yeah. You got to win. We got to win.
And here was the extra win for me. I think you just had a wedding afterwards. And so there was some leftover balloons. I told you love balloons. There were some leftover balloons. Yeah.
They're nice balloons. They're not tacky.
No, they're not. It was a nice balloon display and we kept it for our event. And so but it gave a great backdrop for our selfies and pictures on that night. And so it was incredible.
Yeah, it was really an honor. It was an honor.
Yeah. So what's next for you now? You have this summer series coming up. You have these great comedians coming. What's your game plan and your next hope for the restaurant? You've been in business now since
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
Wow, you're still young.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And, you don't realize it, but the restaurant industry, because we are by proxy a restaurant, is that it takes 3+ years to really start seeing the payoff, depending on the market. And Addison is like a very competitive market. Right. So apparently North Dallas has more restaurants than people to fill the seats.
Yeah.
So there's more seats in restaurants than there are people.
Wow. That's
per capita.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Now, I might have TK come on because we had a conversation some months ago and we were talking about the difference in just getting a liquor license between California and Texas. And I think it's a lot easier just getting your business set up.
It's very business. Yeah. It's business forward in Texas. It's good business climate, opposite of California. I mean, not to hate, I love California, but it's just the reality. There's a reason why business is left in droves.
So much more cost just in talking to them. The cost variance and getting set up is just so different.
Yeah, they're just business friendly. They want you to bring in those The sales tax, baby. Right. Bring it in. They want it, honey.
And
so,
I love talking to businesses as they evaluate relocating to Texas. So you were in California for quite a few years.
Yeah. I was there about 19 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And then decided to move back to your home. And your husband is from, I don't think when you met your husband, you realized that you were both from Texas, right?
Not initially, but then we were like, oh, we're both from Texas. I never in a million years thought I'd move back to Texas.
That is hilarious.
And then I never really been to Dallas, and he's from Dallas. And so for him, it was like a real homecoming. Right. And I was like, I really like Dallas. I like the vibe. It's different than where I grew up. Right. It's definitely got a lot more going on.
And from a business community here, just so many Fortune 500 companies moving to Texas.
Yeah.
And the businesses and the business community continues to grow and expand. And so, but it's not easy running a restaurant. You have to build up your brand and your following. And it's hard getting to that, for a lot of businesses, they think they put out a good product, and no matter how great the product is, it still takes time to build a following, right?
It does. It takes a lot. You got to kind of feed the marketing machine. You have to do great, basically, post-selling and clienteling and get people to come back, get people to leave reviews, get people to tell their friends. Just by default, they said if you're happy, you'll tell like 2 or 3 people. Right. If you're upset, you'll tell 10.
Right.
So that's something you have to always rebound. I mean, we're in the hospitality industry essentially, so a lot of it is making sure people are happy,
right,
as much as you can, and that'll wear you out,
right.
And then you take a break, and you're like, I got to get out of here. I'm going to lose it, and then you come back. You're like, this is great. This is so much fun. So, it is a blessing. Like I'm grateful for it, but you got to kind of go in, take a break, come back. It's relentless.
Now, what was one of your most exciting events, weddings in your facility? Something that stands out, a wedding or some unique event that was fun?
Am I allowed to mention? Nope. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say that. Thanks, honey. You can just edit that out.
Yeah.
We had a gentleman on the cover of Forbes.
Oh, wow.
Who was at one point I believe it was the CEO or the CFO of LA Fitness.
Very cool.
He moved on to his own roofing company called Lenningham Roofing. He is a wonderful guy, Kurt Lenningham, and we were honored to we did a lot of events for his company and for him personally. We got to host his 50th birthday.
Oh, fantastic.
And it was like pull out all the stops. It was a James Bond themed birthday. So we had an ice sculpture in the shape of a gun. You could pour shots down. Had a specialty cake, all these cool art installations that had like his name and his different logos, and I mean he's very prolific.
I love it.
That was pretty awesome, wonderful, visually really cool party.
So you can scale up and down depending 100%. On volume of people and what kind of features you want, from the speakeasy to the comedy club, which is kind of neat.
Yeah. We've done all kind of stuff. Gender reveals, if that's still a thing, it's 2025. We're still doing it here in Texas. We've done some mid-sized, smaller weddings with the reception and the ceremony, which is beautiful.
Nice.
That's always a huge honor. And we've just done all kinds of parties. It's fun. We offer people, hey, do you want us to do the entertainment? Do you want us to do a decor package? Do you want us to do, these are the different catering options we have. Do you want to do something crazy and weird like casino tables? Or do you want an ice sculpture? Do you want the bells and whistles? Or do you want to, just easy breezy, cheap and cheerful?
Yeah.
And depending on the day, the time of the week, how many people, we usually can make anything happen.
So for anyone starting a restaurant or maybe looking to expand a business of any kind, what business decoded tips would you give them based on your experience 3 years now of getting into that? Before you answer that, what was opening day like? I can't imagine for you have this big restaurant and opening day comes, you've got it built out and you're thinking, okay, are people going to come?
Oh, yeah. We were overly booked.
You?
We opened on New Year's Eve of 2022.
Oh, very cool.
So, 2021 going into 2022.
Nice.
New Year's Eve. It was wonderful. We had tons of friends fly out. It was overbooked. There were so many things that went right. There were so many things that went wrong.
Sure.
I don't think you're ever fine-tuning. I don't think you're ever not learning.
Right.
I don't think you're ever not trying to level up. It was never on autopilot. It still isn't. We are my husband and I, as you know, are very hands-on. We're not like anonymous owners.
Right.
We are not silent. We're very much there and present. We engage people. So, people like things or don't like it, they let us know.
They find you.
But it's personable. It's very interpersonal. So I say going to Decoded.
Yes.
I would say just constantly Give me a second on that.
Okay.
Because I want to take that in. That's actually a really, say it again, ask me the question.
Yeah, what business decoded tips would you give? I can say that it probably makes it different the higher the level of chef that you have for a restaurant. Yeah. Having someone that brings that level of quality experience at a big organization. But what business decoded tips? Making sure you have good funding before you start the business, making sure you have a good marketing plan before you start the business. Like, what business decoded tips? Being patient.
Things that we've learned, and this is stuff that I would have, if I were to do some things differently, which we're catching our wind now.
Yes.
I would definitely have like a good marketing strategy that you can't relent.
Can't let up on it.
You cannot let up. You have to put your foot on the gas and find the money to do it.
Right.
Like, even if you want to take a break from it, find the money to do it because, things are seasonal. There's ups and downs, and when people are going out and not going out, and you need to be ahead of the curve.
Right.
Also, the difference between culture and brand.
Okay.
So culture is your employee experience. That's what it's like for people to come to work. What's that experience like? And then the brand is what the customer experiences.
Right.
And you got to have them both good.
Okay.
So we've definitely been refining that, because there's stuff you just like. My husband and I are very vision. We're big vision.
Yes.
We've learned a lot. We're not as operational. So the operations are always trying to catch up to to execute the vision.
Absolutely.
So building the best team with the best culture is a huge investment. It takes time, but it's important.
And that's probably one of the most significant points that I think I've had here in our conversation is sometimes leaders, when they create that business, they have a phenomenal vision. And they understand where they want to go with that vision from an execution, but they do need someone to kind of facilitate that operational execution piece. And it's a lot of work getting to that level.
You really, oh my gosh, having a team that shares the vision.
Yes.
That cares. They may not care as much as you. They're not going to. They're not owners. They're not invested. They don't worry when a glass breaks. You're like, that was, like you see totally steaks getting returned. You're like, nah, I'll eat it. I'll take it. They don't care that way, but to get people that they enjoy and see and want to partner with like what you're doing, because they get something out of it. They're either taking home some good cash. Maybe it's not the worst work environment. Maybe it's a lot of fun. Maybe there's payoffs there to keep people motivated, so you can build the plan, build the vision.
Right. Kara, you've been phenomenal. Thank you for coming on the program. You're great. It's just
my pleasure.
I love hearing that journey from your business career as a comedian to now your business career in owning a restaurant.
Thank you.
And how the two sync up. I know this is our second interview, but I think for the person that might not understand the business of comedy, but to see how that transition into a restaurant business, I think is so important for them to understand that transition. Just following your passion and then converting that to something else.
Yeah, it was
I often
very
think with some of these sports players, when you finish your sport, let's say your career is cut short by injury, then what? Like, how do you parlay that into something else? And just to see how you've made that progression from comedy to restaurant is really cool.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
and thank
really
you for
inspiring.
taking time to bring me here. And I mean, we love you, and we are appreciative of, give us a little spotlight.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Thank you,
TK, for joining us in studio. And thank you for joining us on Business Decoded with Ronnie Spellman.
Thank you for listening to Business Decoded podcast with Ronnie Spellman. Please be sure to subscribe and share, and stay tuned for more incredible Business Decoded episodes.